Hey guys, how you doing? I know you might have missed the podcast. Everybody's telling me that, Lou, and I don't see some of the episodes. I know you might have not been seeing episodes for maybe a month and a half, 2 months. And that is because I fell off my game. You know, like we all do, we fell off our game. We fall off our game sometimes. I did fall off my game. I'm back and now I'm just going hard at it. I'm not saying I will never fall off my game again, but one thing for sure, I will always get back on my game. Thanks for joining me. Happy, Thursday morning. Welcome to the Academy Answers podcast. And we do this podcast for us and for you to do what we were meant to do, what we were called to do. This podcast is about happiness, success, full potential. That's what you will hear every time. And in the nights, the news is about the events, all the deaths and the murders and the government maneuvers. In the mornings, this podcast is about success, happiness, and full potential, and everything that surrounds that whole idea of a better life, of improving your life, of improving yourself. And this morning, I want to expound on the topic that I did about some months ago about a plan for your life and how you actually get to execute that plan, and understanding, because most people have a plan, but they don't understand that a plan has to actually have teeth. And for that plan to have teeth, that plan has to be worked down, not into years and weeks and months. Sorry for that little distortion. I'm trying to fix my mic. That plan doesn't have to. That plan cannot be about, oh, next month I'm gonna do this, and by next year this will happen. That's not the way of someone who's serious about making change or who's serious about getting a certain result. You have to have a schedule, and you have to force yourself to that schedule. You know, in America we say schedule. I grew up saying schedule because that's a British way of pronouncing it. And now I'm in America, I say schedule. If I say schedule, everybody's looking at me funny. But I was born and raised in Jamaica, and the English, the version of English that we use is skewed towards the English version, England, and the European version. But the American have their own twist to it. It doesn't matter as long as you understand. But unless you have an itemized set of steps, and unless those set of steps are scheduled and are consistently acted upon based on that rigid schedule, or that schedule that's an adequate schedule. And you know, what's adequate is depending on who and what and all that stuff. I can't get into that now, but it has to have an adequate schedule that looks consistent. And I've done it so many times when I've gone over with people, what is your schedule? I don't think I can find enough words or enough scenarios to bring home the importance of a consistent schedule, of having the plan of where you want to get to, breaking down that plan into shorter term, medium term goals, then breaking down those goals into short term goals, and then dissecting those goals into activities and attaching timelines to those activities daily. I cannot overemphasize. What am I talking about? Let's do weight. Everybody use weight. It's a big deal. Everybody's doing that stuff. Let's say you want to lose weight. I'll use another one too, because people are probably tired of this. Oh, you want to lose weight stuff. But let's do it. Let's say you want to lose 50 pounds. You have to say, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds by, and please don't do that, I'm having a wedding, I want to lose 10 pounds to fit in the dress. It is such an empty, demotivating, uninspiring goal. If you want to change your lifestyle and you want to look different for a wedding, it means that you want to look different overall in your life. So don't only use the wedding, become that person. Don't do that short-term fix, because what that short-term fix will do, it will make you settle, because it means then that you are doing it for an event when in the back of your mind, you really don't want to be that size. Because if you wanted to be that size, you'd have like, okay, I'm just going to get the size 16, or I'm just going to get the size 35 or 40, and that's it, that's me. But if you're finding yourself wanting to fit into a dress, it means that's how you're comfortable being. And if you're doing that for an event, it's a loser, it's a cop-out, it's a mediocre, it's an average type of mentality that you're accepting in your life. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to attack anybody, but that's what it is. Because here are you saying that you would like to look this way for this event. If at all you want to look this way for this event, it means that that's how you really want to look. That's it. So you have this 50 pounds that you want to lose, and you want to set a realistic timeline on that weight loss. Let's say we're doing it for 6 months or a year. Now, okay, how often are you going to go on the scale? Let's say you're going on the scale every month, on the first of every month, to check your progress. Because you got to track your progress. You need something to inspire you. You need something to check up on yourself to know how this is going. So you can tweak, you can change, you can know whether or not you're on the right path. Okay, every month you're going to go on the scale. All right. So how do you operate daily so that when the first of the month comes and you go on that scale, you can lose the desired 5 pounds, for example, that you want to lose? Well, you got to break it down to the hours in the day. In the mornings, I used to eat this for breakfast. This is what I now eat. I get off work by 6. Monday and Tuesday is out of it because I have the kids to do this with, or I have this to do, or I have classes, or whatever you have. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I need to get to the gym, or I need to do this exercise workout on YouTube. And I'm not doing it in the evenings. I'm doing it at 6 o'clock every evening, or 6 on Wednesday, 5 on Thursday, 4 on Friday. It can't be, oh, in the evenings when I get home I do it. It needs a time. It needs a time. It needs consistency. How long are you going to exercise for? What your routine look like? What exercise I'm going to do? How many reps of it I do? And how long I do it? And this is my plan. And then you're going to match it against a proven system. You're either taking it from a proven system of somebody who's saying like, okay, this is how you eat, this is how much workout you need to do to lose that weight. And you're going to try that. And you're going to run it for a month. If it doesn't work, you say, okay, whether it's somebody you can reach out to or it's something else you can try, you're going to, okay, I am 2 pounds off. What's causing that? And you become a student of it. If you don't have that attitude towards how you break down your goals and schedule the activities that's going to take you to your goals, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get big goals by just stumbling into it and winging it and touch it every now and then. It has to take a rigid routine. That is why some people never get to achieve anything that they set out to achieve, or cannot achieve big things, because they don't know how to force themselves to a schedule. And this is the thing that I've always used. I've always used the analogy of how they go to work. Now, the people at your job force you to a schedule. You have to come in at 8 or 7 or 9 or 5 or 3 or whatever time you go in. And these are the set of steps that you take when you come in. And you do that almost every single day. That's the only reason why you get paid. That's the only reason why the company survive. Because they force you to a schedule. They don't say, okay, you work here and just come when you want to come. Just ensure that you come for 40 hours. No. That's not a system. That's not a way. Because then sometimes you would come, sometimes you'd come all over the place. They don't know how to fit it. It cannot be structured. And if you don't structure stuff, then it cannot happen. because things need structure for it to function and build a routine and build the habits and be dependable and reliable. So I'm just revising that whole concept so I can get to the conversation that I had with a coaching student. And they were saying, I know you said that we should have a schedule and we should force ourselves to a schedule and we should break down these things into the activities and we should be getting things done every day. But what is my approach overall to the task that I have to do to ensure that this big goal I have, because they have this 10-year goal, and how do I look at it in a full-on perspective? And I'm having difficulty explaining it because I was having difficulty understanding it. I guess the person wanted an approach. Yes, they were going to break down their goals. Yes, they were going to have the list of tasks. And yes, they were going to try to force themselves to a schedule. But they wanted to know what's the big picture of all of this. What is something I can tell them to kind of help guide them as far as the activities are concerned. Because sometimes when the goals are so far off, then the vision, because when it's far off, it's kind of like a vision or long-term goals. So when it's so far off, to map the activities is kind of more difficult, because then you can set the short-term goal and then you don't know exactly what to do in 5 years and what's going to happen and all the changes that's going to happen. So they wanted a bigger blueprint to work from, if you understand what I'm getting at. So it is like we having these activities broken down, but they wanted a bigger guiding light to follow. And I gave them two things. Because when you're going after something that long term, obviously you don't know all the steps that are involved, and you don't know what you will have to change, what will come up, some of the moving pieces, what that's going to be naturally there as you go on. So the guiding light is that I gave them is EA. Let's try and remember that. EA. When you're going after stuff that is kind of far out, that's going to take you some time to go there. You got to go to EA. And I tell you what EA is. EA is education and action. You are where you are because of something that you don't know and something that you haven't done. So as you aspire, as you work to go to, as you work to level up, as you head to a higher level, you need to be getting the education and you need to be taking the action. So if you're starting a business and you're trying to take that business from 0 to $1 million a year in sales, or from 0 to 10 million a year in sales in 5 years, 2 years, in a year, whatever your goal is, what you have to understand is that you first need to know what to do, because there are proven models out there. And I think Picasso was a guy who said it, and Steve Jobs also said it too, that good artists imitate and great artists copy. And I'm not telling you to copy others, but you got to model what works. And if you notice, with the big corporations who have millions and millions of dollars and who are out here for hundreds of years and who have endless resources, they're not reinventing the wheel. Nissan make a car, Toyota make one just the same. BMW make a car, Benz make one just the same. Target set up a store, Walmart set up one just the same. Target is moving to self-check. Walmart moves to self-check. JetBlue is trying to change the pricing strategy for you to get to buy airline tickets. Delta does it. Walgreens have a loyalty program. CVS have the loyalty program. Pepsi's running a 2-for-1 deal this week. Coke is running a 2-for-1 deal this week. Nobody is reinventing the wheel. People are doing what works. So your first step is to get the education on how to get there, what worked for people. And that might not be a specific thing, but it is in a specific arena. In other words, the guy who has a online clothing store is running ads on social media. So one guy's running Facebook ad, other guy's Instagram ad, the other guy's TikTok, the other guy's Pinterest, but it is ads on social media. You can either pick your platform and learn what these guys do to move from 0 to 1 million or 10 million or 5 million or whatever your goal is. Or you can watch a guy that you admire that's doing the same thing that you do and pick the same platform that he's doing. And you look at his ads. And there's a girl and there's a light color and there is a certain copy. The copy takes a certain format and he's using videos and he's using retargeting, and you do that. And you tweak it and you learn it and you keep learning and you educate yourself about the process firstly. And then secondly is action. So that's the E. Now this is the E, action. Actually, and this is where the rubber meets the road, actually doing what you learn and stop living in your head, run off your emotions and run off what you feel and run off what you think and trying to be different and trying to say, oh, I don't like that. No, you learn what is being done and what's working and you take the actions. So that's it. It's EA when you are trying to get to a longer term goal. Whatever your daily tasks are, whatever your daily activities are, whatever your time schedule is about, or however it looks, just understand that those tasks must be wrapped up and intertwined in education and action. And that is it. That is what I wanted to share when it comes on to forcing yourself to a schedule and making a plan, making goals, breaking these goals down into daily tasks, forcing yourself to that schedule, and what is your approach going forward. Your approach is not having this thing that is all coming out of your head. Your approach is going out there, learning what is working, and actually apply what you learn. I cannot tell you how many things that I've learned that I have not applied in my life. It's the craziest way. Education is not for a mental workout. Education is for application. So it is that golden thing that I learned in school. And that's the best thing that they didn't actually even teach it to me directly. But it came up when I was doing exams, when I was doing my high school final exams, when you do those qualifications to decide whether or not you can go to college and what's your competence level in these subject areas. So I was doing business and the teacher came in one day and the teacher said that they're going to grade you on knowledge, interpretation, and application. I'm not sure how the application of it would happen on an exam paper, but when the teacher said that, it never left me, because I took it through life with me, because it's a life piece. It is a life piece. It is knowledge, whether you get it from outside or you pick it up from your own internal workings or your experiences of what happened to you, knowing, understanding what happened, getting the information about something, interpreting that the right way, and applying it. It's the gold of living. So that's what you need to be understanding. The education you get, how you interpret it, and the actions you take on it. And when I say education, I must hasten to say that get the scholastic skills out of your brain. Like, get this classroom, sit down in front of with a teacher in front of you, sitting down to tell you something from a book. Information is on Google, YouTube, Facebook. Just as important as the one that they tell you to write in a book and do these multiple choice questions. Like, don't get locked into that, because that doesn't matter. You can learn anything anyhow. You're actually learning. When you went to your job, they might have a couple of training stuff, but most of it you learn by just going and doing it and picking it up, and now you're mastering it, and it is so important. So don't get into that book stuff and exam and grade stuff. Just understand that, look, the education, the skill is the miracle. Once you get the skill, then you can apply those skills to get to your goals. Have a good morning, guys. I hope that has helped, and it's really important to me that people understand how things are done and how things happen, and I wanted to just share that with you that I had from a coaching session. Appreciate you listening. Share this podcast if you got something from it, and have a beautiful Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much.